Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, I would say almost. So we'll be starting with the protocol designing part two, and we will start with. Yesterday we were looking into the topic what all protocol design content should be, like what all it should include, what all it should have, basically. And how exactly we are going to design a protocol depending on the kind of a study we are going to do, right? So in that we started with introduction part, that your protocol should have an introduction, an abstract, then an objective of the study, then it should have a background, then it should have a study rationale, and then it should have, oh yeah, we were supposed to learn about the study rationale, right? So basically, study rationale is nothing but it's the point that describes why it makes sense to study this product in this patient population or in the event of an observational study, and why the information is needed. So that is your rationale, that why exactly you want to go ahead and conduct this particular study, and what would be the use of this study to the society. Then risk and benefit assessment, how the specific risk of the product alleviate will be alleviated in the study, and why the potential benefits outweigh the risk should be clearly mentioned. Okay. So basically you should be telling about, like, how, if I conduct this study, how this study is going to benefit, rather than even if it contains some amount of risk, but the outcome that we are going to get out of the study is going to be better than whatever risk we are going to take by doing this study. Okay. Then next is eligibility criteria. So subject with a diagnosis of the specific disease intended to take in the study who meet the inclusion and exclusion criteria will be eligible for participation in the study. So subjects who are eligible with particular norms that we have designed for a particular trial, that is very important to understand, like what all is there. Like if I am willing to take a diabetic people only in my study, then how much should be their sugar level, what should be the age of the person, what should be their other vital criteria, vitals. When I say BP, etc., their chest X-ray and everything is taken. All the vitals are undergone, and depending on that only you will be deciding whether that particular person is eligible to take part into the study or not. Okay. So that completely depends on what kind of a population you want to select, whether you want to select a healthy population, whether you want to select a diseased population. If you want to do that, any of that, what should be the age criteria limitation, what should be their BMI, means like all minute things should be included. But it shouldn't be such कि मैंने 100 criteria लिख दिए हैं, 100 के 100 पास होने चाहिए. It should be very justificable with the study that you are going to do. Okay. So next is reasons for imposing eligibility criteria can include scientific rationale, safety concern, regulatory issues, and practical consideration. So all this points should be taken into consideration before you create a eligibility criteria. Okay, scientific rationale, safety concern, regulatory issues, and practical consideration. The number of eligibility criteria should be kept to minimum. Then criteria should include only those absolutely necessary to ensure the scientific validity and patient safety. And then eligibility criteria should be clearly defined and verified by an external auditor. So external auditor should come and means like they should look into the criteria that you have decided for inclusion and exclusion of the person. Inclusion in the sense whether you want to, when you want to enroll the subject into your study, right? And in exclusion in the sense what kind of people you will not be allowing to be enrolled into the study. Okay. Uh, then study design. The study design section of the protocol should contain a stepwise description of all the procedures required by the study. parts of the study design section may include initial evaluation, screening test. जैसे कि मैंने अभी बोला initial evaluations and screening test क्या रहता है? So screening test is another very big area of clinical trials, I would say. So if I want to enroll say 60 subjects in my study, then all those 60 subjects should be screened prior to they are being selected. They prior to they should prior to the fact that how they will be selected for the clinical trial. In the sense, 60 people come to my facility. Okay, I will take all the blood samples. I will do all the basic vital tests that I want to do to make sure that he or she is a healthy subject when I'm trying to enroll the healthy subject. When I'm trying to enroll a diseased person, then I'll have different criteria. So in that criteria also, I'll be in that particular type of study also, I'll be doing all the required vital tests before I enroll that particular subject into the trial. Okay, and then what I'll be doing is I'll be screening all those 60 people, and I'll be checking whether they are fine, right? Whether their chest X-rays are clear, whether they're HIV positive or not. If they're positive, they will not be enrolled for the trial. Especially for women, we check that they are whether they are pregnant or they are not pregnant by doing UPT. So that is also one type of a screening that you do, and then you will be checking for hemoglobin and all those common blood tests that we do. So all kind of a viruses also like hepatitis है कि नहीं वो भी देखते हैं हम लोग before we when we are doing the screening part. And then it requires the it requires a huge population to be screened so that we so अगर मुझे 60 लोग study के लिए चाहिए, then I'll be screening around 80 people at least. तो उनमें से जो 60 मिलेंगे मुझे, those will be particular group of people that I really want for my study. Okay, so that would be the screening test. Then required lab tests, like what all required lab tests you are going to conduct with all those people who are going to enroll. Then details of treatment and supplementary procedures, like क्या क्या treatment होने वाले हैं. This is the so you have a investigational drug, right? You'll be giving that drug to the subject. So along with that, if there are any side effects, what kind of medications will be given. So all that also has to be mentioned. Okay, and then details of the treatment, in the sense investigational drug के क्या details है वो भी तुम्हें वहाँ पे study design में लिखना पड़ेगा. Then agent information or device specification, in the sense whatever devices we are going to use in order to collect the blood sample, evaluate the blood samples, all that has to be mentioned. Then after that, dose scheduling and modifications. And what is this part? Just a minute. And calendars. Yes. So dose scheduling, in the sense when exactly you're going to administer the drug. Okay, so it is let me tell you one thing over here, that say for example that I want to give the medication today morning, I want to or tomorrow morning, then the subject should be in my facility 24 hours before I do any dose scheduling. Okay, so tomorrow morning, if 8 o'clock, my study, I'm going to administer the drug to the subject, then the day prior, all my subjects should be enrolled with proper screening in my facility. So they should be under observation with you for 24 hours. And after we give them the dose, that is medication, whatever investigational drug is there, then after that, they will remain with us for 1 day or 2 days, and then they will be heading back home. Okay, so that is very important. What is your dose scheduling and what all modifications you might do. Then types of study design used in clinical research, we have studied most of it: observational study, interventional study, descriptive study, analytical study, cross-sectional study, and cohort study. Then general principle of study design is study characteristics. So you should be writing about the study characteristics, in the sense what type of study it is, what design it is, and why you have chosen that particular design and that particular type. Then type of the study design to be used. Uh, the way in which the study will be conducted, single center, yeah, it will be conducted at a single center only. That means I told you before also, if I want to do the study on 500 subjects, okay, it is not possible. Maybe it is not possible for a clinical research organization to enroll 500 people at a time. They have a facility for only 250 people. So 250 people will be enrolled in one facility, and 250 people will be enrolled into another clinical research organization. So whether you want to make it a multiple center study or you want to make it a single center study, that is up to you. Then it should be, whether it would be a double blind, single blind, triple blind, etc. Then placebo, whether they will have placebo control as a study arm or not. Then randomization and non-randomization. So ये हमने देखा है what you mean by randomization and non-randomization. ठीक है? So whether it is going to be a randomized control trial or non-randomized control trial. ठीक है? Then methodology for sampling, collection of the data, and statistical analysis. So what do you mean by sampling? Sampling in the sense, I tell you this, let me tell you this, that every clinical research organization has the particular section, it would be called as a dispensing center या फिर sampling center. ठीक है, तो वहां पे सिर्फ फार्मा वाले लोगों को ही एंट्री मिलता है, right? So that pharma people, before the study, we are going to start the study, you will be getting the medication from the company for which you are doing the trial, okay? Or it would be your own medication. But that medication has to be dispensed into particular bottle, right? Even if it's a one single medication, तुम डायरेक्टली स्ट्रिप से निकाल के वो बंदे के हाथ में नहीं दे सकते हो. You have to have a proper container like a bottle, which will be properly labeled whether it is a drug A or drug B. ठीक है? Randomization का schedule हमें मिलेगा from biostatistician, that which subject is going to get which treatment. For example, subject 2 is going to get treatment B and subject 3 is going to get the treatment A. ठीक है, so subject 2 को treatment B ही मिलना चाहिए. वो कैसे होगा? Then at the time you are dispensing, at the time you are giving the medication to the subject, it shouldn't happen कि तुम्हें confusion हो रहा है कि A कौन सा है, B कौन सा है. To avoid all those errors, the sampling of the medication has to be done beforehand, and that is done when that is done by a pharmaceutical person, and they will be dispensing the number of tablets. For example, 10 people should be getting um, treatment A and 10 people should be getting treatment B. Then they will be dispensing the drug accordingly by taking precaution, by taking good lab practices into consideration, and they will be dispensing the bottle. So I tell you one thing over here is that QC and QA also checks that every bottle has the medication. So it shouldn't be such कि अभी सब्जेक्ट को हम दवाई खिला रहे हैं और वो बॉटल में मेडिकेशन ही नहीं है, या फिर वन ऑफ द बॉटल ऑफ द मेडिकेशन इज एम्प्टी, या फिर ज्यादा आ गया है मेडिकेशन, ऐसा भी हो सकता है. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो put forth as a observation from QA/QC, मीन्स उसको भी ऑब्जर्व कि ये एरर कैसे हुआ. यू हैव टू गिव द जस्टिफिकेशन. So you cannot afford such mistakes when actually the clinical trial is going on. So it is a very crucial thing. जब भी आप दवाई दे रहे हो subjects को, you have to make sure that all the containers are properly labeled, all the containers have the medication, because we'll be giving the medication, we'll be checking each and every empty bottle as well. Okay? And it is very important because how the medication is given, I tell you, at 8 o'clock, I have to start giving medication to people. That is what is my schedule. Okay? So 8 baje, subject 1 will be getting medication. 8 बज के 2 मिनट पे subject 2 will be getting medication. 8:04 पे subject 3 will be getting the medication. So that is how it is. So you are very time bound when you are performing this particular. And one thing, let me tell you, I have observed this when I was in Glenmark, that subjects who are enrolling over there, they sometimes what do they do is they take the medication and they keep it in their cheek, and once they drink water in front of you, they will throw it out somewhere. So what, how do we give the medication to people is, how do we give them the dose is, they sit in front of us, we remove the medication and keep it in their hand, they take the medication, drink water, one full glass of water they have to do drink compulsorily, and after that, with the help of a battery torch, we check their mouth whether the medication is gone inside their stomach or not. So people can do that, right? People, subjects who they are going to get money, so people are very smart. Sometimes what do they do is like they just take the medication, and they will throw it off by keeping it under their tongue or inside the cheek somewhere. They will hide inside their mouth. But this is something that you have to, because एंड में जब भी तुम इवेल्युएशन करने जाओगे सारे ब्लड सैंपल का, तुम्हें कुछ मिलेगा ही नहीं उसमें से, एंड दैट विल बी अ वेरी बैड थिंग फॉर इट, बिकॉज एक सब्जेक्ट का भी इंफॉर्मेशन अगर तुम्हारा रह जाता है, या फिर वन ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट ऑल्सो इज नॉट एबल टू प्रोड्यूस, यू हैव टू गिव जस्टिफिकेशन व्हाई इट इज so. So then, to avoid those kind of errors, you have to make sure that a person has taken the medication at that time when the dosing is going on. Okay? And you have sampling point, then you have collection of data, then you have statistical analysis. All this methodology has to be designed, has to be put forth into your protocol. Okay? Then merits and demerits of the particular study should also be mentioned in your study design. So sampling, I hope I have made the sampling part very clear, that you have to do the sampling before the subjects are going to take the medication. You have to make the bottles with proper label, treatment A, treatment B, and then accordingly. Then how will you collect the data? How will you do the statistical analysis? All the methodologies has to be mentioned. Then next is criteria for evaluation. So safety evaluation में हमेशा LFT and RFT करते हैं, that is liver function test and respiratory function test is compulsory to make sure that patient is या फिर subject is safe throughout the study. Incidences of adverse event has to be notified. So all this comes under the safety evaluation part. The safety or adverse event section should include detailed information for reporting the adverse event and list of expected adverse events. So list of expected adverse events will come from what kind of a medication, investigational drug you have. Since you have studied that particular medication, you know that what all side effects it might have and what exactly is its therapeutic effect. Okay? Then detailed information for reporting adverse event, in the sense, if there is any adverse event, how will you go ahead and report the adverse event? So there is a protocol for that also. So that has to be mentioned inside your study design. Then study treatment. So concurrent medication. So this is, so study treatment has all this points included in this. So we'll just read through the point and we will be reading them in detail as we move ahead. So you have concurrent medication, formulation of test and control products, packaging and labeling, dose or dosage regime. Then you have dispensing, administration, supply or storage, and complications. So we'll read study treatment के अंदर ये सारे points आते हैं, and then we'll read what all these points mean exactly. So concurrent medication. So all subjects should be maintained on the same medication throughout the entire study period as medically feasible, with no introduction of a new chronic therapy. So standard therapy for specific disease is allowed except for treatments noted in exclusion criteria. So what do you mean by concurrent medication is, if during my study, I have given my medication and subject start experiencing headache, for example, let's take it a very simple example, headache. ठीक है, तो अगर उसको हेडेक हो रहा है तो what medication should be given, ठीक है? So that medication should be common for each subject who will be having headache another time, ठीक है? तो आज मुझे हेडेक हुआ तो मुझे क्या मिला, पैरासिटामोल मिला या फिर मुझे मिला कॉम्बीफ्लैम, ठीक है? अगर नेक्स्ट सब्जेक्ट को भी हेडेक हो रहा है तो उसको भी कॉम्बीफ्लैम ही मिलना चाहिए। तो देयर शुड बी नो डेविएशन। अगर हेडेक हेडेक सबको हो रहा है, 3-4 लोगों को, तो देन दे शुड बी गेटिंग अ कॉन्करेंट मेडिकेशन विच इज कॉम्बीफ्लैम। सो इट हैज टू बी कॉन्स्टेंट। तो एक को कॉम्बीफ्लैम दे रही हूँ, दूसरे को डाइक्लोजन दे रही हूँ, नो, दैट इज नॉट राइट, दैट इज नॉट अलाउड। So concurrent medication has to be same, and the concurrent medication has to be mentioned in your study design also. If this is according to this according to this list of adverse events, this kind of concurrent, this all concurrent medications will be given. Okay. Then formulation of the test and control products. So identify the test and control product. Manufacturer specify the formulation of the test article. If drug must be reconstituted or otherwise prepared, indicate in this section. So you should be mentioning about all this detail about your formulation. So whether it is the active ingredient, what is milligram per ml, then uh, other ingredients, what all are there, that also you have to mention, and then you have to mention the pH of the drug. So both of them, for both the drugs, you have to do this test. Okay. Then packaging and labeling. So brief explanation of how the drug will be packed and labeled by whom, and it should be explained how the labeling will maintain the blinding for blinded studies. So it is also very important part. Just give me just a minute, okay? Okay. Then packaging, yeah, it should be explained how labeling will maintain the blinding for blinded studies. So very important part this is, because if there is a blinded study, only pharma person will know that मैंने कौन सा medication किसके अंदर डाला है. So labeling will also be hidden from the people, right? मीन्स अगर ट्रीटमेंट ए एंड ट्रीटमेंट बी हम बोलेंगे तो उसमें से सब्जेक्ट को नहीं पता होना चाहिए कि ट्रीटमेंट ए क्या है, कंट्रोल है, कि ट्रीटमेंट ए इन्वेस्टिगेशनल ड्रग है. So in that is also a very challenging part when it comes to packaging and labeling, and it has to be done meticulously and without any error. So that is very important. Then dosage or dosage regime. So information of dose, route of administration, dosing schedule, optimal timing between the doses, adjustment for weight, age, meals, and other pertinent information, and treatment period. So all this dosage या फिर कैसे administer करोगे या फिर dosage regime क्या रहेगा, in the sense I have to administer the drug twice a day. For that also, what should be your schedule? How exactly you will administer the drug? What should be the time gap between the two doses? So see, हम घर पे जब भी मेडिकेशन खाते हैं तो आज मैंने 2 बजे खाया, फिर रात को मैंने 10 बजे खाया, हम इतना देखते नहीं है. बट व्हेन वी आर डूइंग द ट्रायल, क्लिनिकल ट्रायल या फिर BA/BE trial, that time it is very stringent for them to maintain those timelines, because depending on that timeline all your data will be varying. ठीक है ना? So all this information is very crucial when it comes to dosage and dosage regime. An ideal clinical research protocol should explain about dispensing, administration instruction, supply of drug at the site, storage, study drug accountability, measures of the treatment, compliance. So all this uh, points should be explained in detail. So storage of what? Storage of the drugs that are going to come in your facility, which you are going to administer to the subject who are going to take part in your study. Then supply of the drug, कैसे supply हुआ, कैसे supply करेंगे, right? All this also very important. Administration instruction, क्या administration करोगे जब भी, तभी कैसे तुम एडमिनिस्टर करोगे ड्रग टू द सब्जेक्ट, ठीक है, जैसे मैंने अभी तुम लोगों को बोला कि लाइक यू हैव टू गिव द मेडिकेशन, देन दे हैव टू ड्रिंक सम पर्टिकुलर ml ऑफ वाटर, 1 glass ऑफ वाटर, सो कितना ml पानी देना है वो भी डिसाइडेड रहता है, ठीक है. So that much ml of water only they will drink, and then they will be checking their mouth with the torchlight in order to check, make sure that the medication is gone inside their tummy, they have not thrown it out anywhere somewhere, okay, or hidden in their mouth. Then measures of the treatment compliance, like what all treatment के बारे में क्या क्या compliance तुम follow करने वाले हो, ये सारा बहुत important है. Then clinical assessment, concomitant medication, all concomitant medications and concurrent therapies will be documented. Very important, documentation for all concomitant medication, in the sense this subject 2 had a headache, okay, for that we gave the concomitant medication as Combiflam, okay. So very important, Combiflam कौन से कंपनी का था, कितना डोसेज था, यहाँ तक के डिटेल्स तुम्हें लिखने पड़ते हैं. Then demographics also you have to mention, date of birth, gender, race, and medical history. अगर ये तो सारा स्क्रीनिंग के वक्त ही हो जाता है, ठीक है. So when the patients are going, subjects are going to come to your facility and you are going to screen them, that time you will be taking all these measurements and then you will be going ahead. Then I think there are only 3 minutes remaining. So adverse experience and reporting and documentation we'll talk in a while. So clinical assessment and what all ideal content of the protocol should be. What do you mean by concurrent medication? I hope I have made it clear and I have told my story very clearly. If there are any doubts, still any doubts, you should let me know. You can type me in the chat right now, or if we are fine, just let me know.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, Pratibha.
Ma'am, what exactly do we mean by study treatment? What is this?
Study treatment? Just a minute. Where we had studied this particular
These are like
part?
study treatments.
Just a minute. Huh? Where is it? So hello. Who was it? Yes. So study treatment means, I want to say that they are into a study in which they have given a medication. So for example, it's an antihypertensive study, ठीक है, antihypertensive drug study, ठीक है. So I have my investigational product which I have given to that particular person, ठीक है. फिर उसके बाद उसको क्या हो गया, गोली खाने के बाद उसको हेडेक हो गया, ठीक है. तो वो हेडेक के लिए तुमने क्या ट्रीटमेंट दी, so that should be your study treatment, ठीक है, in your clinical trial. So in that particular study, if a person experiences any adverse event, which could be mild or moderate or anything, and what kind of a medication you have given them, ठीक है, that would be called as your study treatment. Got it?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody has any questions? Have I made the dispensing and like how do you administer the drug to the subject's point clear? If yes, please let me know in the chat box. Okay. Okay, then we are done for the day. Then again, I'll meet you at 1:30 for the second lecture. Okay. I'll see you all. Bye. I'm signing off for today.